Spring comes on the ship of the Dialagar with his newly marriage's Princess Chandra, when his sailor leaves his ship towards the state. Even now in the Dialagar's mind, the same thing was circulating why he took the spring with him into the self-saving Princess Chandra wore him. Why am I ugly what the princess doesn't wear me? I have so much money. I am so big saving. Yet he did not like me and rapped my servant what else will be. I will renovate my unhappiness and renovate Princess Chandra in a room of the ship, says to her husband Basant, Swami, we are both tied in the holy bond of marriage. I have now become your semi-and genie. We are both living partner of each other. Spriney says, Spriney, you are absolutely right, saying Chandra. Princess bid, O Swami. You know all about me, but I don't know anything about you. What is the cause of this deep sadness on your face? What's your name? Where are you living in, Swami? How did you come to this deal? Princess Chandra stood in front of the question Spring together, listening to her talk. Princess said, my story is very sad. Why do you want to beat my unbeaten wounds again? Spring talk, Princess Chandra said. No, Swami, whatever saddles you are, let me tell you all about you. When watching the princess's district, here's the son of the princess. I am the little son of Karg Singh of the king of the stream Murbani. My elder brother was the name of my mother. In childhood, our mother became heaven. Listen to so much. Princess Chandra said, Oh ho Swami, this is very sad. Spring forward says, Chandra is not the end of our saddles. This did not happen after our father got married another. One day we were playing, both brothers playing. Our ball went into my Musi's palace. When my brother went to take the ball, my Musi accused my brother falsely and left me and my brother both from the city. Listen to so much. Princess Chandra sadly says, this is it so bad with you. Times Spring said, Spring ahead. Chandra, we both brothers wandered into the forest, and we both brothers fell asleep under a tree. When I was sleeping, I did not see my brother form anywhere. Princess Chandra said. Spring said, yes, Chandra doesn't know where my brother left me and left me. Know what a wild animal took him up. Or what happened to him. I found my brother a lot, but he did not get me to the wandering deal. I started working with them and I got you lucky at working. So saying darely say with a very sad and full heart, but Chandra, you got me, but I did not find my brother form anywhere. The whole story of the spring also broke out of Princess Chandra's ashamed. She holds the hand of her husband Basant with a whole heart and says, don't worry, Swami, your brother will be absolutely fine wherever it is and he will definitely get you. Trust the above. Who the floor dealer wanted to get newlyweds Chandra at any price. After thinking a lot, the dealer decided to call the spring and push the sea into the sea. After dying of the spring, Chandra will be mine, then where will he go away? And the snake will also die and will not break the sticks. With these subtle intent, he calls the spring with excuses and pushes it off the ship. After the spring is pushed off the ship, the deal takes his group to Princess Chandra and says that he is infinite. Chandra is not. Chandra is. Chandra is what happened. Seth G is. Seth G is standing outside and watching him look at the spring, then his legs sliding and falling into the seas. This gold from the bottom of the moon ends the earth, he says. No, Seth G cannot be so. The dealer says, I'm sorry Chandra, I tried so much to save him but I couldn't succeed in doing so. This hearing Princess Chandra Dahad starts to cry and says, God, what happened? This happened. What did you do this? I came here for spring and for spring my parents. Now whose support I will be? God, you took away my support from me. Watching the Lord Chandra crying, the dealer tells him, what benefit does the benefit of crying Roth Chandra do to God's good is what goes on in front of God. Princess crying Chandra crying, says that what happened to me was the same saving. He also stole from me. What do I do now? Then the dealer says, do not worry, I will make you my sedentary. This hearing Princess is fire in the badan of Chandra. He looks the deal from the eyes that eat and says, wicked human. How did you give away from my eyes too? I don't even want to see the scary appearance of your eyes. When the dealer tries to touch her near the princess says, wicked Dialagar, I am a sooty woman, you will be consumed if you try to touch me. This listen the dealer stops and says, why are you angry? I will keep you queen of palaces, many slaves will serve you. The one you ask for will bring in your steps and keep the dealings. The Princess Chandra bid, and you wicked man has become corrupted your intellect. I am the husbandry woman. You understand what you have kept me away from God. The dealers listen to Chandra, for my eyes silently go from the Chandra room and thinks. How long the princess will oppose me, one day this will remain by me. There is no way other the dealer's ship reaches his state. On the way, when the spring was pushed by the ship, it gets a piece of fork and a piece of cant in which the spring managed to leave after scamping in the sea for several days, and while moving in the same state, it reached the same state where it was the strong dealer, the hit of the situation, which the spring of the budget reaches the same place, and it sits in a garden. The spring didn't know that the wicked Dialagar lives in this city too. The tight lost killed in the spring garden is thinking, "Oh God, what actions are you giving me punishment for? What I do, which you put all the grief in my bag, and first you took away my mother's gap, then broke my brother's form with my life. Now Chandra came with a little joy in my life, he did not bear you what he also took from me. What was I bad about the wicked dealer that he made me so big, betraying with me? Pushed into the sea. Now what will be the recent thing of balancing Chandra? I don't know where he will be crying in my separation and give away his life in Chandra, which was closed in Saudagar's house. In reality, he was this recent, he does not eat anything or drinks but tears in memory of spring all the time." Seeing this situation, the dealer says him, "You keep crying all the time, do not eat anything or drink, so you will die. Your husband does not know spring now." The dealer's sad princess says, No, Seth, don't say that, now you take care of her from your heart and accept me as your husband." Chandra bid not Seth, I can't even think that my husband must come one day, only God cannot be so unhappy." Princess Chandra, listening to the Dialagar licking and saying, "Chandra, spring is no longer in this world. Accept it now and get married to me." "Is there no way you accept me?" Then Chandra says, "Seth G is away." Seth G is happy to be said. "Tell me how much way?" Princess Chandra says. "You give me 12 months' time. You will not even hand me up to then. If my husband does not come spring in these 12 months, then I will accept as you wish." The dealer is happy and says that even for 12 months, "Can I wait for you even 12 years or 12 births?" Chandra Seth says so much. He goes by king and leaves his house and makes it sharp to his house with the king's request on the request of Saudagar. Every day its 2 royal soldiers begin to send the dealer's house to custody. Such time goes by. Basant was absolutely unknown about that his brother form is not the right Salamat but also the king of this city. He is admitted into the king's army. Then one day, coincidentally, for outside the dealer's home wing, 2 soldiers duty also have a soldier spring at night. Both the soldiers go out of the dealer's house, and then the other soldier says to the spring, "If friend does not badly ask you one thing," said spring, "Yes, you ask your brother, what do you want to ask?" The soldier said, "Brother, since you've been admitted into the king's army, I've been seeing you since it has been so many days, but I never saw you smile. Whenever you saw sadness, and lost all the time you saw you so sadler. Whom you live all the time to hear about." The partner soldier, Blessings, said, "What sorrow? I tell you, if there is one, I will tell. If I was the smallest, from then onwards the sorrow had stopped my price, and why they went on to grow instead of decreasing." He said his partner, "Brother, we have all night. You tell me your story from beginning to end. Tell me that sadness is as little as bitter." Spring said, "I don't think my grief will ever be less in any way, but I will definitely tell you by saying so much to Dorm from my childhood. How both of those brothers used to jump, laughter, happy, no worries were. Parents had servants in the Raj, how parents used to fight them, and so far how the dealer pushed him off the ship, and then he survived and joined the king's army. Destined ahead of his partner soldier. With the flowing tears, the soldier also becomes different from the gold, and the soldier says, "In fact, your friend is very painful and will make it very much rugged and worshipped." Princess Chandra, closed inside the house, was also sitting. When the spring begins to tell itself, the known story is the hearing of Princess Chandra. The ears of the Princess Chandra hears the painful words as you passed in the night sunlight. The whole of the desert sun, the Princess Chandra also stands Ronka, his murdered face story, the lightly faced and bloomed with hope and surprise. Princess Chandra thinks this is either a soldier to the Dastan at the moment, either this is definitely my husband is dormant or his big brother form. If the distinguish of this is the dealer, then I don't know what he will be forging again. Distinguish all these things, then Chandra makes a decision to go to the king in his mind and wait for the morning. When morning, the opportunity is seen fled from the Saudagar's house and direct appears to Raja form in Rajamahal. And says, Maharaj, the custody you had posted 2 soldiers for the custody outside my house yesterday is a thief stealing precious goods from the house. Listening of the Chandra, immediately commands his soldiers that the soldiers who were duty outside the dealer's house to be presented to me immediately. Once the king gets orders, his soldiers immediately caught both of them. When Spring and his partner are presented to the king form, the Spring recognizes his brother form. Seeing him becoming king, his mouth remains open of surprise and surprisingly open. Thinks my brother. And he is not king either. It can't be deceived, I am cheating, thinking that he is silent, but the king does not pay much attention to the Spring and tells Chandra what the girl has stolen from your house. Chandra says, Maharaj, I have put a false explosion on them. Listening to Chandra, the king raises and says, what you are saying? This girl Chandra said, yes Maharaj, I am telling the truth. They did not steal any of you, but Maharaj, I have a passage from you. I want to hear the story which was speaking to one amongst them at night, and the question of death is the question of some of the life and death of Maharaj Raja. All of you give orders to his soldiers. Whose of you who told the story at night, also he can again order the same story here in the court. The Spring who has come begins to tell his desert once again of the Maharaj. Geo he goes forward in the story. And when the king's form also stands ears, he thinks that this is what you are going by. Both of us brothers are passing, and when looking into the soldier with the garbage. So his younger brother recognizes the Spring. When looking at the Spring, the Raja of happiness remains embodied on the throne of joy. Nothing comes out of the king's mouth when the Spring completes his story. The king's form stands by his mattress and runs towards him. My brother takes loudly with Spring and flowing teardown, filling my younger brother Spring in the hug. In the same case, the same reason of Spring was also being continuously flushing with her eyes. Princess Chandra also becomes extremely happy to see and cannot stop the tears of his joy. Listen to the story of both brothers and see their mutual love. The whole Raj Darbar was playing loud tables. All eyes were tears and the eyes were caught immediately by the wicked deal from the Maharaj form. And that low is carved inside the earth alive. At the set of the Spring, both brothers go to their father Raja Karag Singh in the Stream City and tell them all the truth is that the whole truth is no. Raja Karag Singh sits on his knees and cries and says, the rot. I have unintentionally become very big sin, the Lord, if I accept my mother's talk of your children, I do not become a partner of such big sin. He immediately ordered his soldiers and put him on the queen's mouth and rotates him on the ass and eventually makes him out of Rajamahal. After punishing the queen, Raja Karag Singh goes into forests to register all his Raja text by citing his 2 sons and regretting. As his brother Spring is happy to his brother's section sitting on the padder of herb in his Raj Tilak and returns his state. The king joins the Spring hand and thank God for all this and happiness lives a beautiful life with Princess Chandra. Before telling the story, I have all of you to stay up to the end in the story once again. I think with my heart. Conclusion: this wasn't just a story, it was an amazing saga of love, abandonment, justice, and struggle of destination. 2 princely born in the stream, an innocent but expelled second unintentionally, the successor of a crowd of amaze to the mother's mother, the cheating scattered confusion on the eyes of a step queen, and the cheating of a step queen scattered a family, but no one can stop the destination that was laid down. Again he met who cheated, he got the punishment of his actions, and who adopted the path of true love, allegiance, and struggle ultimately obtained his right. This story taught us the victory of truth and justice is always the end of deceit, and cheating is certain. The brothers' love is unbreaked when no matter how difficult and honestly human can change their troubles, and thus an era derived from a deep plot ended with an echo of love and justice. If you like this story, share it with your friends. Because stories aren't just heard but felt. Thanks my Lodi audience.